Yeah, okay, perfect. All right, wonderful. So I think I'll get us started for today. Welcome and thank you all so much for joining today's online Master of Science in Management webinar. I'll give about a second or two more just to let everyone be able to join into the webinar. But while we're waiting, I do want to mention a really quick note that you can scan this QR code on our screen just to get connected with our team at a time that really just works for you to be able to discuss all of your options with Gies Online programs. Okay, perfect. So I think I'll get us started for today. My name's Roxana Madani. I'm a coordinator here with Gies Online, working with our recruiting and admissions team. I'm really excited to spend the next hour with you all just going over our online iMSM program. And I'm also really grateful to be kind of joined with our current iMSM student ambassador, Ashley Zeman. Ashley, if you could just really quickly introduce yourself, if that's okay, a little bit more about your career background and specifically why you chose to pursue a graduate degree.
Sure. Hello, I'm Ashley Zeman. I currently serve as Senior Director of Marketing Strategy at Elgin Community College. I have been in the iMSM program for over a year, and I'm actually going to be graduating at the end of this upcoming summer with my degree. So I chose the program because I was looking for a lot of flexibility as a working mom of two and looking for a program that was affordable, flexible, and also offered a lot of just business fundamentals.
That's perfect. Thank you so much, Ashley. And we're going to hear a little bit more about just Ashley's experiences with Geese Online, specifically the iMSM program, a lot more throughout this webinar. I'm also really happy to be joined by one of my colleagues, Grant. He's just going to be assisting in the Q&A and in the chat. So if you do have any questions throughout the webinar, please feel free to use that Q&A feature just so we can easily answer any questions that you have throughout the presentation. I will try, hopefully towards the end, to leave a little bit of time so that we can answer any other last minute questions, but definitely utilize that Q&A feature if you do want to get some quick responses throughout the presentation. And Grant's probably also already started putting in links into the chat, so feel free to also click on those links to our website, browse through, and then if you do have any questions as well, you can always put it in the Q&A feature. And just to really quickly get us started for today, I do want to see where everyone's joining us from. So I am going to put up this really quick poll. Feel free to either use this QR code. I'm not sure if it's going to be able to work, so there might be a small issue with that. If you can't use the QR code, if it's not showing up, just feel free to put in chat essentially where you're joining from. Our programs, including the iMSM, are all global programs. So we do like to see just where everyone's able to join in from, especially since these webinars really mock those kind of live sessions and online format that we offer with our programs. So feel free to put into chat where you're joining from. I'm currently within the Illinois, Peoria, Illinois area, so about an hour and a half away from campus. And Ashley, can you tell us where you're joining from? I'm sure you're in the suburbs as well since Elgin.
Yes, I'm located in the Chicago suburbs near Elgin.
Wonderful. And we'd love to just see where everyone else is joining from, whether you're a US-based individual or global as well. Feel free to put that in the chat throughout, and then I will keep this on for about a minute or two. I'm pretty sure it's not working though. So if that's okay, I will move on to the next slide and just go over our agenda a little bit more. All right, wonderful. So a really quick glance at our agenda for today. Since we've already kind of gotten through those introductions at the start, I'm going to give a really quick overview of the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign, as well as Gies College of Business. I will also go over a little bit more about some general details with Gies Online programs, and then we're really going to dive into the iMSM program, the overview, discuss the curriculum as well as the content within the program, and then really kind of hone in on the application process, some tips for our prospective learners. And then I mentioned before, again, we'll try to see if we have a little bit of time towards the end to answer your questions, but use that Q&A feature if you can to get those questions answered by Grant. All right, so the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign campus currently houses over 35,000 undergraduate students and 20,000 graduate students. The University of Illinois is a land-grant institution, so we're really committed to providing life-changing access to education that's actually at an affordable cost to all of our learners worldwide. A few really quick stats about the university. We are ranked the #9 public university in the nation by US News and World Report. We're also a top 5 for National Science Foundation funded research. And with over 500,000 alumni, our university actually has one of the largest alumni organizations. That's definitely going to be a huge support to you as a key student and alum. Specifically within Gies College of Business, we were ranked the #1 biggest business school innovation of the decade by Poets and Quants, and they also ranked us as the 2022 MBA Program of the Year. We were also ranked the #1 accountancy faculty by BYU Faculty Research Rankings, and we are a top 10 public undergraduate business school in the nation as well. That was given to us by US News and World Report. And then finally, I mentioned just the university's alumni organization that we offer. There's over 81,000 Gies Business alumni specifically that are able to connect and network with you as a Gies Business student. Okay, so to really quickly touch on essentially just Gies Business online programs in general, it was built on three main pillars, and that would be flexibility, stackability, and being online by design. With each of these three pillars, I'm going to go a little bit more in depth on each, and then I do have a lot more detail within the next few slides as well. But with flexibility, Gies Online is designed to fit your learner journey. So all of our programs are 100% online, and there are no in-person commitments. It's also very flexible with its pacing since you're able to choose between 1 or 2 courses within the 8-week terms that we offer. And finally, our programs have a very flexible tuition structure. So with that, we do have the pay-as-you-go model, essentially meaning that you're only paying for the courses that you're currently enrolled for. And moving on to stackability as well, Gies Online really ensures to make sure that our education is accessible to all of our students. Each of our Gies credentials are able to be stacked and work together, so it's really able to better fit your individual needs. And we also offer a few different multiple kind of degree access points. So we offer Coursera free MOOCs. Then we offer 4-credit non-degree courses, as well as graduate certificates and our full master's degree programs. With this stackable model, you're essentially building and gaining valuable skills while also exploring your options with Gies Online. And it essentially helps you really build your own educational path that's fit for your needs and what you're looking for in terms of ROI and career support. Finally, with that online by design format, so we've designed all of our credentials to cater to thousands of learners worldwide. And this really gives the ability for just about anyone to join our programs and be able to participate wherever you are in the world. And I do also want to mention a really quick note. We have been providing this online delivery since 2016. So we are one of the first online MBA programs that's offered at an affordable price. And then finally, all of this is done without actually having to sacrifice that peer and faculty interaction and collaboration that you'd be receiving through the online format. And I'm going to go a lot more in detail on just what we provide with that as well. Ashley, I know you touched on it just quite a bit already, but can you explain a little bit more about what drew you to Gies Online and the iMSM program specifically compared to maybe other graduate degree programs?
Yeah. So I had been thinking about going back to school for my master's for many years and was always kind of overwhelmed and wasn't sure how to choose. But when I discovered this program from Gies, it was sort of a no-brainer, just because of obviously the reputation of the school, being a top quality institution in the state and nationally. Also the flexibility with it being fully online, the ability to have multiple live sessions, have access to recordings. And then the stackable design of the program as well was very appealing to me because I had never taken an online class before. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if I was ready to commit to the MBA program. So seeing the MSN program for me was very appealing to have the ability to have that stackable master's degree that then if I decided I wanted to continue on towards the MBA or roll all my credits over, that I would have that option. So I just think very smart design and very modular, flexible program that's also affordable.
Perfect. And we're definitely going to go a lot more in detail on just what we provide with the iMSM program throughout the presentation as well. But thank you so much, Ashley. All right, so I am going to go a little bit more in depth on just the stackability options that we do offer with Gies Online. As I mentioned before, we offer multiple different degree access points that you're able to get started with. This slide that really is just shown right now just shows how each Gies credential can be built into the next one. Our first access point would be our free MOOCs, and these are massive open online courses, essentially courses through the Coursera platform that our students can take asynchronously, so it's done on your own time and at your own pace. These MOOCs really give you specific foundational knowledge within a skill area. So essentially, it's a really great way to get started with us if you're looking to see just how that asynchronous component works, make sure that it works best with your kind of needs in the day-to-day life as a working professional. The second degree access point would be our 4 credit courses. These are non-degree Illinois courses that you'd be taking through Gies College of Business, and they really give you transcriptable credit from the University of Illinois. So each non-degree 4 credit course includes 2 MOOCs, as well as a high engagement synchronous component that's done through the Illinois Canvas platform. Taking these 4 credit non-degree courses really helps you feel out the program. And I do think it's a really great option if you're curious to see how the online course structure works and you do want to get started with something that will give you that transcriptable credit that can be stacked into either a certificate or a degree. The third degree access points would be these graduate certificate options that we offer. We currently have 13 different graduate certificate options that are made up of 12 credit hours. And graduate certificates really just give you mastery within a specific subject area that we offer with our unique curriculum. So any of our 13 graduate certificate options, they are really great standalone, but they're also all able to be fully stacked into one of our online master's degree programs. So moving on to that fourth access point, which would be our 3 online master's degrees. And we currently offer them in accountancy, management, and business administration. And then today's webinar is just on the iMSM program. There's also one right after this on the business administration program. So if you are interested, feel free to hop on into that one after this webinar. And then a really final level of stacking that we do offer that I actually don't have shown on this screen is that you can stack the iMSM or the IMSA program into the IMBA degree. So that's what Ashley mentioned earlier. If you are taking the iMSM program, you decide to complete it, and then still want to earn an MBA program degree, you are able to do that. So if you do choose to start with iMSM and then stack to IMBA, 36 total credit hours are going to be added towards your IMBA degree upon acceptance. And then for the IMSA program, if you decide to stack that into the IMSA program, if you decide to stack that into the IMBA, 24 credit hours would be stacked into the IMBA degree upon acceptance. So really, essentially with this model, you're able to start from wherever you want and be able to build from there. And there are a lot of different unique ways to kind of degree plan with each option that we offer. So I do also have a really quick poll for you all. I don't know if my polls are working, so if you aren't able to use the poll, please feel free to just type into chat. It'll probably be a little bit more casual, so no worries if it's not a huge paragraph, but I do really quickly want to see essentially what's been holding you back from pursuing a graduate education up until now. Ashley, you mentioned it a little bit already, so I'd love to just see where everyone else's head's at. It could be the cost, online format, time commitment, the ROI that you're looking for, difficulty with the program, and then other things. So whatever it is that you're looking for, whatever's been kind of holding you back, we'd love to just see in the chat what those are so that we can really go over it a little bit more throughout the presentation. And I'll leave it on for about a second or two. My apologies that this QR code is not working, but feel free to use the chat. And then if you don't have time to be able to put it in, I will go through everything as well throughout the presentation. Okay, time commitment and difficulty. So we are going to go over a lot more of just how the course is structured, how the IMSM program works in terms of going through those weekly live sessions, going through that asynchronous component each week. And then I see other people put cost, difficulty. Okay, perfect. So I will go through each of these in the next few slides. Really quickly, before we get to the iMSM program, I do want to mention a bit about our graduate certificates. So as I mentioned before, we currently have 13 different graduate certificate options. They're all made up of the IMBA, IMSA, and IMSM courses, which is why that stackability is able to come into play. Earning a graduate certificate gives you a total of 12 credit hours from the University of Illinois, and you earn a transcriptable certificate upon completion of the program. The application process for graduate certificates is very straightforward. You should be able to complete it in a short amount of time. And then if you are admitted into a graduate certificate program, you can choose if you want to keep it standalone or stack it into one of our master's degree programs. I'm not going to go too much in detail with these different options that we offer. You can find all of our different graduate certificate options on the website. But just to give a really quick list, we do have them sorted based on general business and then accounting specific certificates. And I also do want to mention I am hosting an upcoming lunch and learn session next Friday, so April 18th. And if you are interested in our graduate certificate options, feel free to join in that session as well to get your questions answered. All right, so moving to the iMSM degree, I do want to discuss a little bit more about just what a management degree is, who it's for. Essentially, this program is for individuals that are looking for that essential leadership skills and kind of skill set within their career. You're going to be able to develop confidence by expanding your communication and leadership skills with the program. You'll really be able to understand as well as discuss new technologies, global changes, and then market trends. And finally, you'll really be able to apply integrative thinking and problem solving skills across a lot of different areas, including finance, marketing, operations, as well as accounting. The iMSM program is made up of several different types of learners. So there are those non-businessy backgrounds that are looking to really develop that leadership and management base. There's business background individuals that are looking to pivot more towards that managerial space and include that in their skill set. And then finally, there's those highly technical individuals that are looking really to broaden their formal business background and acumen. And then lastly, I will mention you are going to be able to learn skills that are immediately impactful on your current career, and that's down to each weekly session. So our faculty members are constantly using project-based learning through our group work, as well as those case studies that we offer that are able to be coordinated with our live sessions so they can really provide that real-world scenario option when you're learning the content. Ashley, can you really quickly just touch on how the courses have been so far for you? How has it been really navigating through both of the different components? I am going to go through that a little bit later, but how has it just been navigating through the iMSM program so far?
Yeah, it's been great. Very flexible as far as if you are a working adult. I think, in my experience, majority of my peers all are working or have families. And so very accessible, kind of asynchronous format in that you can kind of study whenever you have time, whether that be during the nights or on the weekends. And each class has offered between 2 to 3 different live sessions each week. So you can sort of pick and choose based upon your schedule which session to attend. And then if you're not able to attend a live session, you can watch the recording. Each class that I've been in usually has anywhere between like 1 and 3 group projects. So a manageable workload in terms of not every week having a group assignment due. But I feel like the cadence of the classes, the first 1 or 2, you're kind of getting into the swing of things, but by the end of the program, each class follows a very similar structure. So it's very easy to kind of predict when assignments will be due, when there'll be live lectures and whatnot. So you can really plan effectively.
Great, thank you so much. All right, so to go a little bit more in detail on just what's required for the program. So the degree is a total of 13,068 in tuition and fees. It is a total of 36 credit hours that you would need to complete, and 24 of those are going to be towards the core curriculum, with 12 being elective courses, elective credit hours. You are able to complete the iMSM in as little as 12 months or about 3 semesters. And then if you do need more time, you're also able to stretch it out to 24 months. Typically, we do give that 1 to 2 year timeline to completion, but I do also want to mention that all students are allowed to have a maximum of 5 years to finish the degree, so 60 months, which is why that's shown on the slide. Essentially, it really does help if you need to take breaks within the program. There are 5 start dates to start the iMSM, and we do have a January and March start for the spring term, a May start for the summer term, and then August and October for the fall term. For iMSM students, Ashley kind of touched on this a little bit already, but essentially you can expect to spend about 10 to 15 hours, and that's per week per course, really depending on that content familiarity. So essentially you can plan on budgeting around 25 hours a week if you're looking for that 1 year timeline to completion, and then less if you're looking for 2 years timeline to completion as well. A little bit more about the student profile with the MSM program. The average age is 34 years with about 8 years of work experience. So like Ashley mentioned, there are individuals that are already well into their career looking just to gain more of that managerial background and base. And there is no work requirement for the IMSM, unlike the IMBA that does have that 3 year minimum, but it is still more of a mature population with the work experience. Our international learners within the program is around 30%, and we currently have 96 countries represented. And then we also have 49 states and territories represented as well. We do have 156 Fortune 500 companies represented as well within the iMSM program, and a very huge alumni network that's able to help keep you in touch. Moving on to return on investment, which I'm sure is very important to a lot of you joining in today or just considering a graduate degree. We do ask all of our graduating students about their experience and specifically how satisfied they are with the program, essentially to find out if the iMSM program has been impactful to their overall professional careers. With that, 43% of our students received a promotion, job offer, or accepted a new position during the program. Gies iMSM students also told us that they received an average raise of 28% during and immediately after the program. So that really just shows how quickly the ROI is visible with this degree. And then finally, 96% of our iMSM graduates felt satisfied with the program quality and the program itself. So we really do like to share this information just so you're able to get that concrete data of the probability of getting ROI within this program. Actually, can you touch a little bit on ROI? How has it been for you since you haven't completed the program yet, but you're getting very close? Have you been able to see anything show up in your professional work? Anything else that you just think would be maybe important to note?
Yeah, I personally have not been focused on job search during the program. However, I do think the degree will prepare me for advancement opportunities moving forward, especially in my industry, which is education. To have like very senior level, executive level roles in higher education, it's most of the time master's degree required for such positions. So that was sort of why I chose to pursue the program, just to sort of align myself and prepare myself to make those sort of moves. I do think for myself, as being someone working in the nonprofit or public education space currently, the degree also has helped prepare me for private sector roles. I started my career in the private sector, but over the last, 10 years or so have sort of been in the public sector. So I think having this fundamental business knowledge will certainly prepare me for advancement opportunities should I choose to return to the private sector.
Definitely. That's really important to note as well. And we do have a lot of different individuals within the IMSM program, just like Ashley. It's not all just business individuals as well. It's from a lot of different industries, a lot of different backgrounds that you're going to be able to get those different perspectives from as well. Okay, moving on a little bit more towards the curriculum of the program. So as I mentioned before, it is a total of 36 credit hours that you need to complete. 24 of those are towards that required core courses, so about 6 courses you'd have to take. And then 12 credit hours are remaining that you can choose from a list of different elective options that we offer. With this structure for the IMSM program, you are really able to dive into courses that you might be interested in, as well as try others that you might not have enough knowledge of, or just want to get a little bit more details about, while still getting all of those core courses required completed in the program as well. And I actually do want to mention with IMSM learners, you also do have the option to obtain one embedded graduate certificate while in pursuit of the degree. So in addition to the degree requirements that you offer, the 12 credit hours that you have for elective courses can be chosen from 2 different graduate certificate options that we offer as embedded certificates. So either the Global Challenges in Business option or the Strategic Leadership and Management certificate can be as an embedded certificate within the program. A really quick note about the I. So this really just refers to the method of delivery. It doesn't appear on your transcript or your diploma, and it's going to look like just any residential program degree that you'd be getting from the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign. We do have a lot of questions about this, so the I in front of the iMSM is not going to show up in front of your degree. Okay, so moving a little bit more towards the real content within the IMSM program. So Gies College of Business is home to over 215 full-time faculty, and that's across our accountancy, business administration, and finance fields. More than half of Gies faculty is actively engaged in how research is changing, in research that is changing how business is done, as well as how it's being taught. We currently do have over 70 faculty members that are teaching within the online programs, and they have that industry and expertise. And then they're also really committed to providing that hands-on experiential learning with a very big focus to global perspectives since it is a global program. Okay, so I am going to stop really quickly. A very popular question that we do get from our prospective learners is just what the online lectures look like that's provided by our faculty and what it really entails since it is a fully online credential. I do want to share this really quick video from one of our Gies faculty members, Professor Hayden Noel. Our students have a lot of positive feedback on these sessions, and the best part is that it's keeping that flexibility since we do offer a few different live sessions within the week. Ashley mentioned about 2 or 3 each week, and then it's always recorded and put on Canvas as well.
Hello and welcome from wherever in the world you are. One thing you'll know by now is realize you are not going to be able to just sit back. Got excited.
Absolutely.
I do not believe in exams. It will be a collaborative event, something you do over time with others. And that's what we do in this class. I want you to put up your hands and tell me 2 associations from the case.
Tradition comes to mind.
Associated with a working man.
Also inexpensive and very accessible.
And my classes by saying, all of you, go out in the world and be successful.
So that's just one quick glimpse into what our online lectures really look like. We have a lot of our faculty actually provide mock live sessions. So an hour-long session where they're providing just a glimpse into the online structure as well for our prospective learners. So definitely check our virtual events page. We always have new mock live sessions joining. I believe Professor Hayden Noel just recently had one. So if you check our YouTube page as well, that should be there for you to be able to kind of watch through on your own time. Okay, so to move on to that online by design format. So we currently have 2 different components to our coursework. That first component would be the asynchronous portion, and this is all done on Coursera. It's basically your quote unquote textbook for the course. These are those 2 MOOCs that are embedded within each of our courses. You're able to complete it at your own time, and it's very fit for individuals that are looking for career aligned training. I do want to mention Coursera also offers digital certificates. So you can audit a MOOC for free, but you're also able to earn that digital certificate from Coursera. You would just need to pay a fee for that. And I do want to mention those digital certificates are different from the graduate certificate options that we offer. So each of our graduate certificates do have 2 MOOCs embedded into each course. But if you're looking to get a graduate certificate upon completion, that would be different from our Coursera digital certificates. So with this Coursera component, the content you're typically going to be able to see would be videos, quizzes, assignments, and then peer evaluations. And then that second component would be the synchronous or high engagement portion that's done on the Illinois Canvas platform. It's very similar to any other university Blackboard platform that you'd be seeing. And this is really where you're able to interact with faculty and peers on a weekly basis. So this portion is built on those 2 MOOCs for each course, and it really gives you a chance to dig into that content from Coursera and then apply it to real world scenarios. With the synchronous component, we have weekly live sessions that's hosted by our faculty at different times in the week, just to ensure that our global learners can join in at a time that's very reasonable for them. And then they're always recorded and put on Canvas as well, so you can always look back into that content if needed. The high engagement component really does include individual and group projects, a few case studies, as well as some of our courses do have exams. And then there's peer discussions and tutoring options that are available as well. Our faculty also does provide office hours just to ensure that they're providing that online faculty support through the online structure that we offer. And I will note you need to complete both the asynchronous and the synchronous components in order to earn that transcriptable credit from the University of Illinois for any of our courses, graduate certificates, or master's degree programs. Ashley, can you really quickly touch on how you've been able to balance the Coursera aspect and the live high engagement aspect as well? I've heard some students say typically they try to get onto Coursera a week in advance if possible, be able to kind of navigate that a little bit better. How have you been able to go through it?
Yeah, I usually try. So every class is broken up into modules. So for each week of the class is a different module. And so the Coursera component is like the digital textbook. So I try to complete all the Coursera videos and quizzes going into that module's live lecture for the week. So for example, if the live lecture is on Thursdays, I try to get all my Coursera material for that week done before Thursday. So that for me has helped set me up for success with the live lecture because then you kind of already understand the teaching and the subject matter. It's just then kind of a review or reiterating what you already learned. But again, if for some reason you're busy that week and you weren't able to, you can always access that information at any time. You just have to complete both of the Coursera MOOC courses by the end of the 8-week term.
It's very important to know. And how has the time commitment been for you? Has it been a little bit harder going through both components, or has it been typically what we say, the 10 to 15 hours per
I would
course?
say it's pretty much aligned with the 10 to 15 hours, depending on the course. Depending on the course, you may be able to not multitask, but like there's a Coursera app on your phone, for example. So like certain classes, if they're not very technical or math based, you can listen to them like while you're taking a walk, or if you're getting ready in the morning, you can watch them on your phone. So you don't have to be at a desktop necessarily. And I've also heard, certain people that are traveling, you can download the videos and watch them. Like if you're going to be on a road trip without internet access or something, you could download the videos, or on a flight, you could download the videos and watch them. So it just takes a little bit of preparing ahead. But I do think depending on the course material, you can sort of watch the videos while you're doing other things. But for like accounting or finance, I probably wouldn't recommend that. But for some of the more, classes like maybe leadership, organizational leadership or things like that, because you can always go back to the transcript, rewatch videos, or if there's a certain subject that you're not quite grasping, you can rewatch it, redigest, read transcripts and whatnot.
I think that's also really important to note. That Coursera aspect is going to be available for you from, I think, a week in advance of actually getting
Mhm.
started within the course. So you're really able to dig into that content earlier, come back to it if you need it. We do have some students that start with MOOCs for free and then go into our 4 credit courses, graduate certificates, and the iMSM and other degrees. So it's a really great way of just being able to kind of refresh your memory on what's needed within the course as well.
Mhm.
All right, perfect. I will go on a little bit more. Now I'm gonna kind of switch gears and talk a little bit more about our networking aspects. It's a very, very important part of our program and also important to a lot of working professionals that are looking to make an impact within their career. So the way that we're able to support that is through 2 different ways. We offer college-led opportunities, and that includes our iConnects, immersions, as well as our annual iConverge event that happens each fall on campus. These are just a few ways that our program really helps students mingle, and we do host both optional in-person events domestically and internationally. And then we offer student-led opportunities. So there's already going to be a lot of group opportunities within the course structure, but there's also countless ways that we provide the availability for you to network both in person and online. I am going to go a lot more in detail on each of these options within the next few slides, but just to really quickly go over each. So we offer the workplace platform. It's essentially a platform for all of our students as well as alumni within Gies College of Business. And it's a really great way of getting that online networking and interaction. We also offer an amazing group of current students, just like Ashley, just being able to help the program, help our respective learners understand a little bit more about their online experience as current students. And then we also offer student-led meetups. So this is mainly taken from our workplace group. A lot of our students that are close to home just want to be able to gather with others that are in their area, and it's a really great way of getting that connection. And then we have IGBA. So this is the Illinois Graduate Business Association. It's essentially like a student council for the program, and it's a really great way of getting connected with administration and leadership teams. Okay, so to now really go in detail on those different networking opportunities, we currently have immersion opportunities, both optional virtual and in-person opportunities, really to tackle business challenges worldwide while connecting with your classmates, faculty, as well as real company and industry leaders that are across the globe. We currently conduct about 4 immersions each year. Typically, they're a week long, and the activities span from Monday to Friday. Most of our students and our faculty typically arrive the weekend before, and then they're back home by the weekend after. So it's a very quick trip, and typically the week has a lot of different activities available. I do want to mention last year we had about 4 different trips, one in South Africa, Malaysia, Singapore, and then a virtual one in Japan. And then this year we just wrapped up our Miami hybrid immersion, and then we have upcoming ones in Vietnam and Brazil for the summer and fall terms. And also with these immersion opportunities, typically it's a capacity of about 30 to 50 students, but it does really vary each trip as well. And immersions are just a really great opportunity if you're looking to travel with the course, with the class, and then work on a real life business problem, especially focusing on global challenges and meeting with stakeholders within that area. Okay, iConverge. So this is our annual event that's hosted in the fall on campus. So usually around that late September area. It's a 3-day networking event where we have speakers, fun activities planned, and then Gies Business master's degree students as well as alumni are able to connect and really discuss professional development. This past year in 2024, the theme was entrepreneurship. And then I think the year before that was networking. So each of these annual events really have a supported general theme that we have for all of our students. And a lot of those activities really work off of that. And then I do also want to mention there's really cool non-businessy events that you're able to join in on. So like a home football game. I personally really like attending iConverge just since you're able to see the students have that face-to-face interaction that you're not usually able to do with the online format. Definitely a very unique experience if you're looking to take advantage of that as a degree student. Ashley, have you been able to join iConverge yet?
Yeah, I went last year. It was a great experience and just got to meet people from all over the world, all over the country. And it was surprising how many people came up to me and were like, I recognize you from class. I'm like, really? So it was kind of fun to just get to meet so many different people. And I went all by myself and it was a great experience. So lots of really informative sessions. I think it's open to alumni as well. So you get to meet alumni, you get to meet industry professionals and then current students. So, and it's just a great opportunity to be on campus and just kind of get to build relationships with your peers.
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially since it is on campus, there's going to be events all around the Urbana-Champaign area. So if you're looking just to see what the university looks like, it's a really great way
Mm.
of getting that kind of interaction as well.
And the faculty are very involved in it as
Oh
well.
yeah, definitely. And you'll see a lot of those. So a lot of those faculty members that you're seeing on the screen, you're going to be able to actually see in person, get those connections, and they have really good memory. They're able to really discuss a lot with you since they offer all of those online kind of formats with the office hours and different ways to get connected with students. So we also have Workplace. This is that great online resource that we offer for our online students, and it's a platform that's essentially like a LinkedIn, Facebook mashup. It's where our current students and alumni can really connect and work on professional development online, and then you're still going to have access to this after you graduate. So it's a really helpful tool just to stay connected with Gies College of Business. I do want to mention Workplace is going away this fall, but we are going to have a new platform to utilize and be able to replace Workplace as well. Student meetups. So this is a really unique aspect that we offer with our program. It's usually, like I mentioned, set up from Workplace where we have students that are close to home that just want to gather and connect with fellow students as well as alumni in their area. And the biggest thing is that they're very casual events. So you're able to gather with other people within the kind of area that you're in and be able to network. There's going to be students that are returning learners, or there's going to be individuals that are currently within the program. And we usually have student ambassadors there as well, just to be able to give you a little bit more about their experiences with Gies Online. And these are just a few of the different places that we've been able to have our student meetups so far. All right, so moving on to learner support. We do have a lot of different support options from our student and academic success team once you're admitted into the program. They offer a lot of different details surrounding degree requirements, the different policies that are in place, and they provide a lot of different degree planning guidance. So they have express advising, open office hours, one-on-one appointments, and then very, very responsive email support. Ashley, have you connected with the SAS team so far? How does that kind of look like for you? And when did it get started, really?
Yeah, I kind of started doing the one-on-one advising early on in the program so I could develop a degree plan and sort of map out my planned courses for the entire program. And then once I had that plan in place, it made registering very easy because I just kind of followed the plan throughout the entire time. But you can meet with them to talk about elective options, course pairings, stackability. So really anything that you would want to ask about, you can kind of make an appointment at any time, one-on-one, or they have the open office hours as well. So very easy to make an appointment, and they're all done via Zoom. So very accessible.
Very important to note too. They have a lot of different expertise on just what courses are offered. Some of our courses within like the summer term might be a little bit more limited, so they have all the knowledge on being able to give you the degree planning that you're really looking for. And I also want to mention we offer in our iMSM on the website, if you look through our admissions section, there is a part that offers different course schedules. So you're able to see different timelines to completion, how that would look with the different courses that we offer each term, and be able to really work on your own degree planning as well. Okay, moving on to career resources. So Gies Online, the programs really attract full-time professionals. Typically with the iMSM program, it's an average of 8 years of work experience. And given this level of experience, career support isn't just about landing a first job. It's more about career growth, the transitions, as well as unlocking new opportunities. So the strongest career resource that you'll be able to have is that powerful network of professionals that you can engage with our group projects, the workplace discussions, as well as those virtual and in-person networking options. These connections really do span different industries, job functions, as well as global markets. So this is really where the magic happens, and you're able to get those kind of perspectives that are different from what you're looking for. With the over 81,000 Geese Business alumni as well, you're going to have a really big network that you're able to utilize during your career journey. And then our alumni engagement team also brings a lot of our alumni back together and helps with those event planning and activities as well. And then I do want to mention, so we offer a lot of additional options for career support and resources to our online students. Sometimes our students, since there are a lot of global learners as well, they're not able to utilize a lot of the domestic in-person events that we offer, but we have a lot of different ways just getting connected online through the online format. The biggest thing is Career Strategy Workplace Group. So this is a group that's housed on Workplace. It's where our students and alumni are able to really come together, network, job search, as well as post-job offerings. We also have big interviews. So this offers training courses as well as hands-on practice with our mock interviews that are really tailored to your specific area of interest and then your career background as well. We also offer Handshake. So all of the students at the University of Illinois have access to the job board on Handshake. It's really a campus recruiting platform that's more designed for our residential and on-campus students. But as an online student, you still will have access to that. You might find the Career Strategy Workplace group, LinkedIn, as well as other professional job boards to be a little bit more useful as an online student. And then finally, we have VMOC. This is a resume and career development tool that really just helps improve your resume. So it provides a lot of feedback, advice on just how to enhance the resume that you provide to it. And then Ashley, I know you mentioned you haven't really been looking too much in terms of career resources or anything since you're not really looking for a job right now. But have you seen a little bit of support in terms of career resources, maybe with the current job that you have?
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of opportunities to learn and webinars and things of that nature offered all the time. I know there's a Women Who Rule group that they do webinars, I think almost every week. So get a lot of updates there. The networking, opportunities through iConverge, getting to meet alumni, things of that nature. So definitely a lot of resources to take advantage of.
Great, thank you. All right, another really quick poll that I do want to ask. I'm sure the poll's not working still, so feel free to put it into chat. Just what part of the application process may look time consuming or difficult to you if you've already looked at it or if you've actually started an application. I'm going to go over all of those different degree application requirements for the iMSM, but I do quickly just want to see if there's any aspects that I should really focus in on in the next slide as well. So whether that's the resume, personal statement, the recommendation forms, unofficial transcripts, work experience that you'd have to list, and then the English proficiency tests for our international learners. So if there's anything that really sticks out that might be difficult for you or you need a little bit more information about, feel free to put that into the chat. And I'll keep it on for about another second or two. I know the poll's not working, but if you do have any questions, you can put that into the Q&A feature and Grant can assist that a little bit more. And I do see someone mentioned personal statement. So I am going to go over a little bit more in detail on just what's required for that. Okay, so just to touch on these different application requirements, the minimum requirement to apply to the iMSM degree is a bachelor's degree with a minimum of 3.0 GPA on that 4.0 scale or equivalent. You are going to need to provide a professional resume, and that's highlighting your work experience. So it really helps us review and identify if you're a good fit for the program that you're applying to. You're also going to need to submit your academic history. So we do accept unofficial transcripts during the application process, but then if you are admitted into the program, you are going to need to submit your official transcripts as well. With international students, we also do need a certificate of degree as well as mark sheets translated to English. And then, Grant, if it's okay, can you put in just the English proficiency requirements that are provided by the Graduate College into the chat for our international applicants to be able to review? And then we also have that personal academic essay. So it's 500 words or less, basically on your interest into the program, explaining how you're able to utilize it to advance in your career or gain any professional goals that you're looking for is really what we're looking for. And then there's also 4 short answer responses that you are going to need to at least respond to the first 2. And all the prompts for the essay and the short answer responses are included within the application. And if you do have any questions, you can always reach out to us by email. We also have those 2 recommendations. So recommenders are required. Typically, you just need to provide a little bit of information within the application process, and then we reach out to them. So all you need to provide is their name and email address within the application to be able to submit. And then we will send them a form with about 8 to 10 questions where they're able to rate you, as well as a couple short answer response questions. It isn't a super huge lift on their side, but I do know getting recommendations could be quite tricky. So we try to make it a bit of a smooth and easy process for them, just filling out the form. The form is required, but they can also provide an optional letter of reference if they would like as well. And we also give them a few days after the application deadline to be able to submit that recommendation form in as well. For international students only, we will need those English proficiency test scores since it is required by the Graduate College, and I see Grant put all that information in there as well. So there are a few exemptions as well. We do have all that information listed on that link that Grant provided, but for an example, if you worked for a company where English is the primary language for many years, you're able to submit that exemption. And then we also offer a waiver essay option. So if you think that you meet one of those exemptions, you're able to include that waiver essay as well. There is no GRE or GMAT test scores required for any of our programs. And then we do offer a limited number of scholarships with Gies College of Business. So we currently, for the iMSM program, we offer the Coursera scholarship opportunity. It's available twice a year, so the fall and spring terms, and it's for all of our master's degree applicants. So essentially, we offer a limited number of scholarships. It reimburses 70% of your tuition if you're chosen. And scholarship applications currently for the fall 2025 term are closed since it closed this past weekend, but you will need to submit by the priority 1 deadline for the fall or spring term in order to get that scholarship consideration. If you are looking for scholarship consideration for the next application deadlines, you will need to wait until our spring 2026 applications open up to be able to get that consideration. And then finally, if you're concerned that your profile might not meet one of those requirements for direct admission into the iMSM program, we do offer the performance-based admission track. So the PAT track, it's a really flexible and rewarding pathway into the program. So with this, you would apply to the PAT track the same way you would as a degree student. And then if you are admitted into the PAT, you would start as a non-degree student, take 3 required courses one at a time, and earn a B or higher in at least 2 of ththose courses and maintain a 3.0 GPA overall. We're then going to evaluate your courses and your grades. And after you complete the required courses, if you successfully complete them, you're admitted to the degree track, and all of your coursework during the PAT program will automatically transfer over. So PAT track is really an amazing opportunity for individuals that might not meet some of those minimum requirements, but you have a lot of professional experience and a strong background to really make up for it. And it's also a really great option if you just would like to test out the program before fully committing into the degree track. So even if you do meet all the requirements for the iMSM or any of our other master's degree programs, the PAT track still is available to you if you'd like to just test out the courses before actually getting started. Okay, so application review. Typically, it takes us about 2 to 3 weeks to review your materials, and then we're going to reach out either with a missing materials email, a decision, or an invite to interview. For the iMSM program, the interview typically takes place on Zoom, and it lasts about 20 minutes. And the interview really just gives us a chance to get to know you a little bit more, understand your goals, and it's a really good opportunity if you want to highlight any particular information about yourself, as well as ask questions about the program. Ashley, how was the interview process for you? I know it was quite a while since you were able to go through this, but was it an easy process going through just the interview phase, and how was it?
Yeah, it was great. It was very quick and easy. Like you said, 20 minutes or so, and just an opportunity to explain, why I was interested in the program, a little bit about myself, and then opportunity to ask questions. So yeah, not too intimidating at all.
Wonderful. And typically, after you complete the interview, it takes about a week, sometimes 2 weeks, for us to get back with the decision for the program. Okay, so we're coming up towards the end of the presentation. If you are looking to apply for the fall 2025 term, we have a lot of different application deadlines coming up, either for an August or October start. The next deadline is going to be our priority 2 deadline, and that is on Thursday, May 1st by 11:59 p.m. Central Time. If you're looking for full consideration, you will need to apply by that deadline before 11:59 p.m. Central. And really the benefits of applying by the priority 2 deadline is there's no application fee. You get early access to our networking and our platforms, as well as the content on Coursera. And then there's priority registration available as well. I will also mention there are a few other deadlines if you can't make this priority 2 deadline. So the final deadline to apply to the iMSM program with an August start term would be on June 5th. And then the very last deadline for the fall term with a later start date would be October. And that the deadline for that term is August 7th. So either June 5th for an August start or August 7th for an October start. All right, wonderful. So hopefully you were able to learn a little bit more about the iMSM program and just Gies Online in general. I really hope this webinar was able to give you a better breakdown into our unique stackable design, the program flexibility, as well as the different opportunities for engagement and professional growth within our program. I just want to thank you all so much for joining and really taking that next step to learn more about our online offerings. And a huge thank you to Ashley just for sharing your experiences as an iMSM student. It's really, really helpful to get your just expertise throughout the presentation, since you really are the expert. You've been able to go through the program. If you have any final words of advice, maybe for our prospective learners about maybe just trying to earn the iMSM degree, or maybe any of our other degrees that you're maybe interested in as well, feel free to let us know.
No, I mean, I think the IMSM is a great opportunity as a gateway to other possible programs to kind of expose yourself to the business fundamentals and can see, what if you're interested in it. As someone with a marketing background, I had not been exposed to a lot of other facets of business. So for me, it was very helpful to just get that more well-rounded skill set now, and more business acumen now that I feel like I have more fundamental knowledge that I can speak to. So.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And a really quick thank you to Grant as well for monitoring chat and going through the Q&A feature and answering all of those questions. I am going to quickly check the chat and Q&A in case there's anything I missed towards the end. But again, thank you, Grant, for answering all those. And then I do have a quick poll. I'm sure it's probably not going to work, but either if you want to put into chat, if you still have any questions after this webinar, if you feel maybe still unsure about our credentials, feel free to just put any questions in the chat. You can always reach out to us. The next slide has a lot of information on just how to get connected with Gies Online. So I'll include that in the next minute or two. And essentially you're able to just really get connected at a time that works for you. So you can use that QR code if you want to get connected with one of our admissions counselors. And then you can always reach out to us either by email at giesonline@illinois.edu or our phone call. And then we also offer text and WhatsApp as well. So feel free to get connected with us. I will check really quickly to make sure there's no questions in the chat. All right, perfect. I think Grant was able to answer everything. So that's perfect. Wonderful. Well, again, thank you all so much for joining. Hopefully you were able to learn a little bit more about our programs, and hopefully we're able to hear from you soon. Thank you all so much.